called a doghouse. Right, Harper? Harper's my big helper. And from what I understand is getting the carpet off the doghouse is like a super hard job. But there's a trick. If you get one of these little guys from Harbor Freight, they're like 20 bucks, a multi-function tool, and you get a blade. The one I'm using is the rigid scraper. It comes right up like a charm. It comes right off, super easy, and as you can see the fiberglass is even really soft underneath, so I've still got a ways to go, but if you're doing the same thing in the future, this will really help you. Right, Harper?
Yeah.
See? Zoom on up here, honey. Zoom in up here, just kind of get a little closer, honey. It works pretty good. So this is after about 5 minutes or so. It's pretty gross, huh?
Yeah.
About 5 minutes or so of scraping off with this little tool here, and it's worked pretty good. So as you can see, watch out, Penny. Hold on. If you get in there and kind of break it apart, it's not going to come off easy because it's glued in tight. It's like they were trying to lock this stuff down pretty tight, but it's hard to get off, but it is possible. So just have to keep working away on it. Possible. What a mess here. Boy, they really glued this thing. So as you can see, it looks like if you go along the edges, that's where it's glued the hardest. But if you look down here, aim the camera down this way, Harper, it looks like they have these cuts in the carpet. So I'm trying to keep record of these things because when I put new carpet on or whatever it is we decide to do to this thing, that's how they make it look so nice. They don't just wrap it down and have all the lumps in it. So I got to figure out how they did this because I've never laid carpet before. So that'll be I'm sure, a fun experience. So I feel a little bit like Hannibal Lecter doing this, so I probably shouldn't say that. Seems very politically incorrect. I feel like I'm just scraping a layer of skin, like I'm skinning something here. But if you see, you just stick this little blade in there, and you just slowly work it out. So this looks like a carcass of something, but if you just kind of take it and you work this thing in here like this, as you go, it just starts to separate and pull. And then you can work on all these little netting pieces afterwards. They'll come right up. But so far, so good. It's coming. It's actually better than I thought it would be. I thought this was going to be a really hard process, full of solvents, and I've read articles about using Easy Off and all kinds of crazy chemicals, and honestly, my dad always said if you have the right tools, it makes the job so much easier. And in this particular case, the right tools is that little multi-function tool from, I got mine from Harbor Freight, but they sell them all over the place. So anyway, so it's finally done. That's what it looks like removed, and this is the skin. So as you can see, there are several cuts that I hope, if I can somehow match this pattern, it'll help me greatly in putting it back on and making it look nice. So we'll see. So as you can see, I've insulated it with, I bought some stuff online, just like a heat shield. I'll post the link below. It's wrapped, insulated really well. And we gave it a little test run, and it really does deaden the sound. When we first bought the RV, it was, driving it would get really hot. It was unbearable in the driver's seat to even to drive this thing. Your feet would get burning hot. So I put this insulation on. I really noticed a big difference just with the sound and the heat. It was really well worth the investment. It wasn't that expensive. It's very easy to apply. One side of it is sticky, the other side is reflective. So super easy. And I thought I was going to have to replace this, the latch, but it turns out all you need is a 5/16 Allen wrench, and you insert it in there, and when you turn it, you could probably use a little WD-40, but then the lock mechanism goes on there, so you can clamp it down so it doesn't move. But what I'm going to do today is treat the other side. So today I'm taking the ugly side here and I'm going to give it a good sand so that all of this ugliness comes off, and the plan is to paint over it with some Rhino liner. So kind of a dark color, but something that's durable, something we could step on it if we had to and not slip off. But the carpet was no way that was going to stay. And paint, I think it would just be easier to do the Rhino liner. So I'm going to go ahead and sand it down with some heavy grit sandpaper. So I'm just going to want to hit this thing with some 60 grit sandpaper on a disc sander here, and just take off this top layer so that it paints nice and even. So here we go. So as you can see here, this, it may not look it, but it's pretty smooth, and it just takes off this rough, ugly layer that's basically just the glue left over from the carpet. This guy is done now. One thing that I should have warned you about was wear long sleeves, wear mouth protection, nose protection, eye protection, but in my opinion, almost as important, skin protection, because all last night I've been feeling like I've got a billion little needles stuck in my arm after shaving all this fiberglass or sanding it down. So today I'm wearing these, but no longer sanding. What I'm doing today is I'm going to coat. So this is what I'm using to coat the Doghouse Herculiner truck bed liner. So let me give you a little idea of how this works. So you got to stir that up really good, really good. And then one of the important things is you need to just kind of dab it on first, just to make sure it's nice and thick. And then you can see all those little, if you've ever seen a Rhino liner, it's almost like sandpaper. So you don't want it to be really smooth. You want to get this texture in there. And once you've dabbed it a little bit and spread it out, then you can actually use a roller and start taking care of it this way. But you want to dab it on first so that it's not too thin. You want it nice and thick. And 2 coats is typically what you're going to want to put on here. But so far, I mean, I've done half of it and it looks pretty good so far. I mean, it's just a big black hunk, looks like a big piece of coal or something, but it'll do what we need it to do. So here is the final product. The Doghouse installed in all of its glory with the rubber coating on it. This stuff is good and it's tough. You can walk on it. There's a little bit of sawdust on it, forgive that, but typically it's just a matte black finish and it looks fantastic. But it will now be able to withstand anything we give it. If we walk on it, if we do whatever, this thing is as solid as can be. And here is the hardware I had to put in for the Doghouse. I used some self-drilling screws that go into the metal underneath, so they go through the vinyl flooring and the metal. I was going to repurpose an old one, but I just decided to buy a brand new one. I had to go online for it. I couldn't find any of these at a store or anything, but I just bought a new one online. It wasn't much. And put the new one in. So this holds it down on this side, and there's an identical one on the other side. And that keeps this thing held in place. So that's it for our episode on renovating your doghouse. So if you're in the same position, you've got an old RV with an ugly doghouse, or old smelly carpet, or stained carpet, or whatever it is, you just want to change something around. It's really not that bad of a project. It takes a little bit of work, a little bit of elbow grease to get that ugly carpet off. But then once you're done, you've got a clean slate. You can paint it up however you like. Do it like we did with the Herculiner or Rhino liner, or just regular paint, or recarpet it. Possibilities are endless. So we're probably going to put some kind of a drink holder on top, some kind of an organizer. The one that came with our RV is, again, from 1998. So it's pretty brittle plastic. We're not going to put the old one back on. So we'll either buy one. There's tons of options that are out there online, or build something. I don't know. We're not there yet, but we're ready to wrap this video. So I hope this was helpful for you. If you did like it, hey, we'd love it if you gave us a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. We've got lots more RV renovation videos coming. We've already posted a few, so check them out. Let us know. Leave us some comments below. We'd love to hear from you, and we'll try to answer back as best we can. So until next time, thanks for stopping by.